My first memory of our Alumni Association goes back to November of 2007 when I first paid my dues and attended my first luncheon. And guess where that was? Right here, yes, at the Beach Club Hotel. As I began to put my thoughts together for this beautiful sunset farewell, one particular luncheon kept surfacing on that sea of reminiscing about KKG. It was the Monmouth Duo Luncheon of February 2016. Many of you were in attendance that day for another beautiful Kappa event here at the Beach Club. It was a very special day for me because my husband Robert and I were the speakers at that luncheon. We were presenting our coffee table book, Naples Beach Homes, Cottages, Castles, and the families that built them. It was rare to have one of the beach owners in our audience, but that day we were delighted to look out and see Mary Carr Watkins smiling and nodding back at us. In doing the research for our book, we had the amazing good fortune to interview Mary Watkins on 2 separate occasions. Our second conversation took place at Mary's charming beachfront home, which she and her husband, Henry V. Watkins Jr., had built in 1953, and where Mary has resided since then. And as we stepped across that threshold, we stepped back into 1953, right down to the turquoise Mixmaster on the shelf of the Lazy Susan corner cupboard. Well, it began to dawn on me that I am in possession of a treasure trove of Mary Watkins archival materials. So I thought maybe the best way to present my part of this program would be to give you Mary Watkins in her own words. So here is Mary's narrative of a life well lived. I was born in Ohio in a small town called Lancaster. You can ask my age, but that's as far as you'll get. When we came down here, there were so few people that it didn't make any difference what your age was. Everybody just got together. So age has never been an item for me. I went to the Ohio State University in Columbus, where I became a member of Kappa Kappa Gamma's Beta Nu chapter in 1943. I was a music major and did education. My specialty, as Jeannie mentioned, is the keyboard. But it was when I was going back to Ohio State for graduate work and living with an aunt who was a very good friend of the Watkins family that I met Henry V. Watkins Jr., and the rest is history. We were married in September of 1949 and were down in Naples by the end of that month. I had never been to Florida. It was hot, but we had this nice sea breeze. I like to say we have the best of the worst weather in the country. Nobody had air conditioning in their home, but you didn't have it in the stores, and you didn't have it in your car, so you didn't go in and out of air conditioning, and you didn't really miss it. But the mosquitoes were another story, and we did not have a mosquito-controlled district. Henry and I first lived in a dear little cottage called the Gatehouse. You may remember it as the beloved painted cottage near the beach on 13th Avenue South. I tried to save Naples history, but we couldn't save the painted cottage, and it was the hardest thing to watch when it was demolished the day before New Year's Eve in 2002. We used to direct people to our house this way. Get off of Route 41 at 5th Avenue South. Turn left at 1st Street. That's Gulf Shore Boulevard today. Go to the dead end and turn right. The dead end was at 13th Avenue South. We had no mail delivery, so we didn't have addresses. Everybody went to the post office for general delivery pickup. And the phone number at our house was 16. My new in-laws, the Watkins family, had 2 hotels in Naples. The old 1880s hotel, which stood for over 75 years, where that big parking lot behind Tommy Bahama is today. And they had a beach clubhouse and golf course way out on the north edge of town where the road came to an end. We used to run a skeet range on that golf course on Sunday and Thursday afternoons. People from Fort Myers would come down to shoot. They would fly down in their private planes and land in what is now Coquina Sands. I helped with the skeet machines, but I never shot. I didn't have any desire to. Now, I did not work in the hotel. My work was to entertain and to make people who had just come to Naples happy. People were brought down here from the north for jobs. The husbands went to work, the children were in school, and the women hated it. So I would say, let's go for a walk on the beach, or let's go get a grilled cheese sandwich at the soda fountain, or let's go do this, that, or the other thing to make them enjoy Naples. That was my job. I've always tried to be involved in improving the Naples community. I was the first president of the Junior Women's Club, and we underwrote the cost of a little theater play. We built the sets in our garage. The play was I Remember Mama. It was put on one night, standing room only at the high school, and that was the beginning of the Naples Players. Over the years, people have asked if we expected what has happened to Naples. The answer is no. Nobody had a clue that things would get so big and out of hand and out of proportion. Another thing we say sometimes is the reason we came to Naples is no longer here. But it's progress. It's what's everywhere. And we get a lot of good from all of this because the new people want good hospitals. They want good entertainment. And as a result, we have it. I'm happy here. Naples has been good to me. There are wonderful people, and the people back in the early days, they came from considerable means, but they were just down to earth, and we all did things together. Bless you, Mary Carr Watkins, for always being just down to earth, and for us, your Kappa sisters, to make sure here at the Beach Hotel, we all got to do things together.